Understanding habeas corpus, a cornerstone of liberty. Habeas corpus, a Latin term meaning produce the body, is a fundamental legal principle that protects individuals from unlawful detention. It ensures that anyone detained by the government has the right to appear before a court to challenge the legality of their detention. This right serves as a safeguard against tyranny and ensures that the government cannot imprison individuals arbitrarily or without due process. The right to habeas corpus is enshrined in the United States Constitution, specifically in Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2, which states, "The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended, unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it." The writ of habeas corpus has been a cornerstone of legal systems around the world for centuries, tracing its roots back to English common law. In the United States, the right to habeas corpus has been invoked in countless cases, from criminal trials to immigration disputes, protecting the liberty of individuals and ensuring that the government is held accountable for its actions. Its importance lies in its role as a bulwark against government overreach, preventing the executive branch from holding individuals without justification or a fair hearing. The principle of habeas corpus is not merely a legal technicality, it is a fundamental human right that underpins a just and equitable society. It ensures that the power of the state is not absolute and that individuals have recourse against unlawful detention. The debate surrounding the potential suspension of habeas corpus for immigrants in the United States is therefore one of paramount importance, with far-reaching implications for the rule of law and the protection of individual rights. Echoes of history, past suspensions of habeas corpus. The suspension of habeas corpus is not unprecedented in American history. During times of national crisis such as the Civil War, presidents have invoked the Constitution's provision to suspend habeas corpus in the interest of national security. However, these instances have been rare and highly controversial, often leading to legal challenges and debates about the limits of executive power. One of the most well-known examples of habeas corpus suspension occurred during the Civil War, when President Abraham Lincoln suspended the writ in 1861 in response to the secession of Southern states and the outbreak of hostilities. Lincoln argued that the extraordinary circumstances of the Civil War, with Confederate sympathizers operating within Union borders, necessitated the suspension of habeas corpus to quell the rebellion and maintain order. The suspension of habeas corpus during the Civil War was met with significant opposition, with critics arguing that it violated fundamental constitutional rights and granted the president excessive power. Despite these criticisms, the Supreme Court upheld Lincoln's suspension of habeas corpus in the landmark case of Merryman, although the court's decision was largely ignored by the Lincoln administration. The historical precedents of habeas corpus suspension serve as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between national security and individual liberties. While the Constitution grants the government the power to suspend habeas corpus in exceptional circumstances, it is a power that must be exercised with extreme caution, as it strikes at the very heart of due process and the rule of law. A nation divided, the arguments for and against suspension. The stakes are high, potential consequences, and the importance of judicial independence.